Okay, sweet. Hi, well, welcome. And recording, but I want to keep this a casual conversation. But I'm here to discuss Purium with you, obviously, and just really, give you some information and answer any questions that you might have. But what I would love to know, just to start off, is kind of what's inspiring you about Purium. Like, what have you heard, and what's interesting you about it? And what's going on there? Shalise?
Sure, I'll go first. Yeah. So I was at I went to a retreat last year on Lionsgate Portal in Mount Shasta, and it was amazing. And one of the facilitators, she had Purium, and she let me try it. And I was like, what is this stuff? And she's like, it's all the nutrients that you need. Like, that was all that she was drinking throughout the weekend, that and like some vegetables and fruit. And I'm just like, wow, that's great. And so I've been trying. I reached out to her twice to get the name of it, and she's just completely ignored me. It's been so weird. So I finally reached out to the person who is associated with her, and I asked him on Instagram. And he finally gave me the name of it. But then I went online and I was like, I have no idea. Like, what? There's so much stuff.
There's a lot. Yeah.
So I was so happy that everybody was aware of it in our group.
Yeah.
Almost everybody.
Yeah, I've heard amazing from Samantha, but I'm having a disconnect with food, so I definitely need something to supplement, and I'm not talking pill form. I'm actually looking for more of an energy protein shake than all the pill supplements.
Yeah, I'm having a disconnect with food also. It's like, some days I just don't want to eat at all, and nothing sounds good unless it's in a smoothie, and it's loaded with organic nutrients.
Yeah, that's where
I'm at. Yeah, it's hard to make those smoothies. Like, making multiple smoothies a day is kind of not realistic. Yeah.
It's expensive too.
It's so expensive.
Get all the ingredients that you should be putting in there, and like piecemealing all of that, right? Yeah,
it adds up. Especially getting organic everything.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I'm curious, do either of you have like health goals that you want to work on? I hear you both saying that you have a disconnect from food. You're not, Shalise, you're not kind of desiring even some days to even eat food. Do you have what health goals do you have currently?
Just to be nourished, honestly. That's the biggest thing, is to get my nourishment and to have the energy, like Robin was saying. And yeah.
Cool. Wow.
That's about it. Yeah, I don't have any weight loss goals, I guess, because I'm
sure.
Yeah, no, just to be nourished.
And I mean,
you're talking health goals is like losing weight and doing all that. Now I'm just looking for something to sustain my body, because no matter what my body's trying to digest, it doesn't want the solid food. It wants it in liquid form for some reason. And that's what I've noticed lately.
Sure. Okay. And what about like sleeping? What about skin? What about energy levels?
Skin.
Like that kind of stuff.
My skin's pretty bad. And so I've cut out dairy, processed sugar, to as much as I can. But I feel like even now it's meat. I don't really know. I'm on a whole skincare regimen and I'm just super aware of what I'm putting in my body. But so yeah, skin.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree there. Yeah, I'm coming out of winter, a very cold winter, so my skin parched,
Yeah. Well, I Yeah, I mean, all of that stuff, everything you're saying is resonating, and you know, definitely Purium, I think, can help with all of those things. I'd love to just kind of share my story with you, and kind of how I got into Purium. I mean, I actually learned about Purium probably like 5 or 6 years ago. I had two girlfriends show up to my bachelorette party, and they both had shakers. They were both and they didn't know each other, and they, you know, and I was like, wait, what? Who, you both are? What? Wait, what is this? You know? But they were just doing, I think, just 10-day cleanses, right? Because they kind of started off as like a cleanse thing, and now what most people are doing is like this. No, this is a lifestyle thing. Like I take this stuff every day, right? So anyway, I learned about it like 5 years ago, but I didn't pay attention to it very closely at the time. And then I am 38. When I turned 30, I started kind of experiencing just different little ailments that I didn't really know were all connected at the time. It was like inflammation in my body and joint pain and some brain fog. And then actually what happened was I started getting migraines. I started getting really debilitating migraines. At their peak frequency, I was getting them every 2 to 3 days. And then at their like peak pain, I went to the emergency room um, because it was just so painful, and I didn't know. And so that was happening and kind of escalating for a while. And then maybe like 4 years ago ish, I accidentally discovered a gluten allergy. I wasn't even considering like a food allergy, and I cut gluten out, and it took all of that away for a little while. And then it started to slowly kind of, all of those symptoms started to creep back in. It maybe took it out for like a year, and then I got pregnant, and things shifted in my body. And then you add the stress of I live in Sonoma County, where we've had a lot of fires, you know, and I got married during a fire, I had my kid during a fire, and I bought a house during a fire. And, like,
Yeah.
Wow.
you know, it's been wild and fairly stressful. And so I think between that and then what I have since learned, it just, you know, all of this stress came back. And so it was like a year ago when I was having, like every 2 to 3 days in this pain cycle with my migraines. My neck and shoulders they were so inflamed. Anything I did, you know, massage, hot shower, like putting all sorts of like CBD and like salve all over, like anything, like would not take you. I was just downing turmeric, like guzzling turmeric, you know, liquid turmeric, like all these things. And none of it was really working, or like some of it sort of work, or like, you know, am I deficient in magnesium? Am I on the screen more? And do I need the blue light blocking glasses? Like all of these things that I would try. Do I have another food allergy that I just don't know about? Right. And so then one of the girlfriends who came to my bachelorette, she started posting online again that kind of documenting her journey. She was doing a 30-day transformation, and it, you know, it caught my eye, and I said, whoa, wait, what are you doing? Wait, you told me about that 5 years ago, but like I haven't learned about it. Like let me know what this is. And intuitively I knew there was something nutritionally going on. Like I even kind of self-diagnosed leaky gut, right? I was like, there's something going on where, like, you know, is there stuff that's too big getting through, or is it some allergy or what? I don't know. And as I said, I tried several things, and nothing was working, or it wouldn't work for very long. So I decided to do a 30-day transformation. And this is the thing that most people start off with to really just kind of jumpstart their shift into kind of healthier eating. And after like a week, my inflammation started going away. I noticed that I wasn't having that same tension and tightness. the joint pain was going away. Yeah, a week into it, like I had stopped drinking caffeine. I haven't had caffeine in probably 4 or 5 years, but I always have like low level energy. I don't ever have that like motivational, like I just drank a cup of coffee, let me get shit done, you know? And so I was always maintaining, and a week into it, I was bouncing off the walls. Let me get Sky in here.
Yay.
Hi, Sky.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm doing well.
It's
How are
nice
you?
to meet you too. I'm good.
Cool.
Oh, I like your background, Sky. It's pretty.
Thank you. Some Pacific Northwest trees.
Yes.
Are you in the Pacific Northwest?
No, I am in California now, but I was living there the last 4 years.
Cool.
So,
Cool. Awesome.
just
Where
on
in
one of my
California?
road trips. I'm in like Marin County,
Oh, I'm in Sonoma
so
County.
in San Rafael. Oh, cool. Close by. Yeah, I'm in San Rafael.
Cool. Well, I was actually just letting these ladies know about kind of my journey through Purium and what happened and what shifted for me. Just to recap for you, I know you said you would watch the recording, but I essentially was having really gnarly migraines, a lot of inflammation, joint pain, low energy, like debilitating migraines every 2 to 3 days, you know, and went to the ER for the pain once. And so I was just saying, I started with the 30-day transformation kind of kit, and yeah, a week into it, my inflammation disappeared. I had energy through the roof. I was bouncing off the walls. I have another girlfriend. We did it at the same time. We started at the same time. And she texted me. She's like, is there crack? Is there crack in this stuff? Like I have so, and she's a coffee drinker and she got off of coffee, you know? So that, and then, you know, I noticed as well, like not only was like the inflammation that had been just kind of stuck, you know, I had neck, shoulder stuff going on. About 2 weeks into it, I went on a 10-mile hike and I wasn't sore afterwards. Like I got a little bit sore the second day on the tops of my calves. And that was the first, I like grabbed my phone and I was like, social media, you need to know about this. I just like 10
That's
miles
impressive.
And, like, I'm barely sore, right? So that happened. And then I did, as a bonus, I started to lose a little weight. You know, I hadn't dropped all the weight from after having my daughter. And, you know, that my skin started to look clearer. And, you know, and all of those things have maintained. Oh, another bonus was my menstrual cramps went away. I used to get pretty gnarly menstrual cramps.
Yeah.
And even if I had a good month with my migraines, like clockwork, on day 2 of my cycle, I would always get a headache. And that went away too. Like that
Wow.
those 2 things, I was like, wait, bonus? Whoa. And so let's see, I'm on my fifth month of taking the products, and I have not had a migraine since.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
How exciting.
So I'm actually tearing up a little saying it out loud because it's just been so life-changing, honestly. It's been, I mean, I didn't have the bandwidth to play with my daughter, you know, or like even just get stuff done. And one of the really heartbreaking things was like playing with her, where it was like, okay, we're gonna play take care of mommy because she's just laying on the couch, you know. And then when she started playing, I have a headache, you know, like that was her like I was like, no.
Oh yeah.
No, this can't, like, I don't want this to be even something that you are playing at, you know. So yeah, so I had a pretty major transformation, and yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm still taking the products to this day, and it has been life-changing for me. And so I decided to become a brand partner and start sharing, because I was already telling people, I was like, listen to my story, you know, like my family. And
how long ago did you start taking them, or did you come across?
That was November when I started
Oh,
taking
cool.
products. Yeah. So
This November?
yep. So just a few months ago.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I'm so
Yeah.
happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah. So, it's been wonderful for me. And there's so many stories of just transformation. I mean, I was asking Shalise and Robin earlier, Sky, just kind of how had they heard of it and kind of what health goals they might have. And I'd love to hear the same from you too. And there's some people who are like, I've got this chronic thing and I want to kind of, address it. And then there's also people, it seems too, that I talk to, they're like, I just know that I need to be taking, getting more nutrients and I feel like I'm not. So like I want a solution. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to always have like this massive transformation, although like most people will see some good results. So yeah, so so that's my story. And then, and I was talking to Samantha, and I've been friends with Samantha for years. We were kind of, actually there was a community household in Santa Rosa here for a while that I moved out of. Like I kind of helped get it started and going, and then I moved out of, and then she moved into my room and was in my bedroom for a while there. So like we've been rocking, a friend group and community and going to festivals together for quite a while. And I kept getting these pings because I was going to these trainings or hearing other stories, and people started saying like, I take Purium to help heighten my psychic abilities, right? And I was like, Sam! And she was like, yeah, I know, I already take them. Oh, shoot, okay. So then we started talking about it. She was like, yeah, I think we, got some people who might be interested. So
you recommend the 30-day?
I recommend the 30-day. And I can definitely tell you more about the products and kind of what they entail. I recommend the 30-day because it's a way to, like, if you're going to do a health shift, if you want to make a health shift, like, why not commit to going fully into it? You know what I mean? And actually, what we're seeing and looking, and you hear things about like, it takes actually 21 days to change a habit. It takes like 90 days to make it stick, right? If you're going to start swinging the pendulum in this other direction, then, really kind of going for it. So there's different ways that people do it. So I did the 30-day, then I did what is called the core 4, which is about half of the product of the 30. It's a maintenance. It's, you're taking the products at least once a day. And you do that. Then I was like, you know what? I actually want to do another 30-day because I feel like I want to like kind of just keep going with it. So I did that. Then I did another core 4, and now I'm going to do another 30-day as like spring fully springs shows up, blooms, just as kind of like another like health reset. My mom, she's done 3 30-days in a row, and she's lost 25 pounds. She's got massive energy. She says her senses, like she could hear and see better. So she just felt inspired to keep going with a 30-day. The recommendation is the 30-day, and then, at least a couple months of doing the core 4 after that. I would love to just quickly
10-day cleanse fit into that.
So yeah, the 10-day cleanse is like there's been a 10-day cleanse as like a standalone thing for a long time. So here's some funny information, funny whatever. The 10-day cleanse was actually the original program that they created using these products, and it was created for Hollywood. It was created for the red carpet because it was so effective in having people drop weight, have clear skin, have more energy, have tighter skin.
And be vibrant.
What's that?
And be vibrant.
And be vibrant, right? Absolutely. Because it's all these whole food, good foods, right? And so it started off, the headquarters is actually in Southern California. They have a farm in Utah, which I'm going to tell you guys about. But it was like Southern California, you know, fucking Hollywood stuff. And then they were like, well, this is really effective. Like, let's bring it to the rest of the world, right? So it started off as a 10-day cleanse, but then people would like do it for 10 days and then stop and then just go back to their and then all of their symptoms and things would come back. You know what I mean?
Like a, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so, you know, I think there is still this, because it was originally presented as that. Hi, good to see your face. There's still like some people, depending on when you heard of it or whatever, there's like oh, this is just a cleanse thing, right? And what we're actually really trying to do is like, actually, no, like this is something that you could just be taking some of it every day as a maintenance thing, right?
Okay.
And just getting into your system. So Sky, really quickly, I'm curious, how did you hear of Purium, and why are you curious about potentially trying it? And then do you have any health goals that you are working on?
Yeah, so quite honestly, I heard about it for the first time in Metaphysical Club. So, and then I like heard a couple people had been taking it, and I'm kind of in the second group that you were describing. I eat, quite honestly, pretty healthy. I was on a pretty strict diet for ceremony in January, and I've naturally, just as this year's been going on, been eating like healthier and healthier because my body, that's all it wants. So I'm not really, like, I feel pretty good, but I've been just getting the inclination I probably need to like take some type of supplements or things to just make sure I'm getting all the nutrients I need and things like that. Or I'm interested in cleansing and stuff, but across the board, like, I don't know, like I've already lost a lot of weight recently just by like in the last year, just by like changing my diet and stuff. I don't really have a goal for that. I have pretty good amounts of energy. I sleep pretty well. There's not like a particular like issue I'm trying to fix. I just was kind of interested in trying it because I don't know, I just keep like hearing about like supplements and
Yeah.
things from people. And I just, I'm not even sure. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm coming from. I am supposedly moving to Bali whenever I can get through the borders. So I'm not sure at what point, like it's, yeah, like possibly this month even. So I'm not sure as far as like how much stuff I'll be able to like take with me. And so I'd kind of be interested in hearing like what would be like if there's any options for supplements, but I don't have to bring an entire suitcase of stuff or how that works out.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of depends on like your goal, and I'll let you guys know. I'll go into some
Yeah.
about the products and stuff too. I will say, you know, Purium doesn't necessarily ship to Bali. So what I'm doing for Sam is she's ordering it and she's sending it to my house, and then I'm gonna ship it. You know what I mean? Because that's just a little bit easier to do. Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. And that's
But the
all.
two people I know that have taken it just seem to love it and rave about it. And yeah, it's something like it's been in the back of my mind. I probably need to start taking supplements just for a while. I haven't had really time to look into it. And then when this whole thing got put together, I was like, oh, perfect. I can come learn.
Nice. Cool. That's great. Yeah, and I think more and more people are just like, you know, it's amazing because I've been chatting with people like from high school or whatever that like I know that they're probably not really eating very healthy or have it like standard American diet, all these things. And like it feels like, well, I guess it feels like more people are waking up to this kind of knowledge than I've seen before. And there, you guys know there's a lot of reasons why that's happening, right? And so it's just amazing that like people who I never would think were interested in like having a green shake and having some good stuff, they're like reaching out to me. They're like, wait, what's this thing? Okay, so I want to tell you a little bit about like the company and their purity, and then the core 4 products, right? So the company, the founders, David Sandoval and Amy Venner, they've been in the game for, in the supplement and kind of health food game for about 30 years. They actually are two of the main people who helped lobby to get the USDA organic label on foods, on just regular food. Like they were, this is how serious they are about this. Like they helped us get that. They originally actually started, what was the company name? Before it was Purium, they actually made, they used to source out to other supplement companies. They didn't have their own product line. They were just a material distributor. But now they obviously have their own line. And I want to tell you guys about the farm. So they are so, like they have their purity promise and the purity and potency that they strive for is just, it's like nothing I've ever seen. So a little background for me too. I actually graduated from nutrition school in 2006. And then I also used to sell supplements in retail. So I've kind of seen a lot of stuff, and we kind of knew which ones were the high quality stuff or whatever. I have never seen a supplement brand with higher quality or like standards for quality than this, right? So their farm, where they get most of their stuff, is in Utah. And you hear about depleted soil and stuff, right? They plant their farm is on top of an old lake bed, so it's super mineral rich soil, right? They're also tucked into to some mountains, I believe, and they're 100 miles away from any other polluting industry. So there's no highways going by. There's no other farms spraying weird stuff and it, getting like carried on the wind and going over. Nothing is polluting the air around them, right? And so they have their farm, and then they have their manufacturing facility right next to it, so they can wait and pick the produce at peak potency and then process it, right? How much of our produce gets picked early and then is sitting on trucks and being transported, like, so, right? So I'm telling you this, just like the level of detail that they, right?
I love that so much.
That's amazing.
And they have
just a lot of intention into all of that.
Oh, they have an in-house microbiologist that is testing the purity every step of the way, every phase of the manufacturing process. They're testing it and just making sure. And so that's where, like, I think like at least 50% of the product, the materials for the product, comes from there. And then when they source from other places, they hold all of those other places to that same standard, and they won't do business with anybody if they aren't reaching that same standard. And they have their same in-house guy testing the material from the other farms to make sure. Oh, you say you're organic? Well, we're going to test and we're going to make sure you're organic. Oh, you're not. We're not going to work with you. Like that level of integrity is, yeah, it's just kind of unheard of these days, So that's huge. Like that alone, I'm like, oh, okay, like what do you got? I'll just eat it.
Seriously.
Right? Like, especially here in America, you're like, oh, and I see so many articles that are like, and we knew this and we could see it coming, like the soil's depleted, everything's GMO, everything's got, pesticides and herbicides on it.
Dumb down, dumb down, dumb down,
yeah.
Dumb down.
Yep, all of that. So yeah, I just wanted to give you that information of just like, here's what we're working with, right? And so from there, so they've got about, I think there's over like 70 products, right? There's a lot of different things you can take. But Robin, as you were asking, right? Starting off with a 30-day kind of ultimate lifestyle transformation kit. So the 30-day kit gets you 60 meals worth of essentially the core 4 products, what they call the core 4. So there's 4 products that they recommend everybody take pretty much every day, honestly. And those 4 products are the one that I think is the most important. Yay! Samantha's here. She's coming in. Hey, lady.
I made it.
Yay. Good morning. I think it's morning where you are, right?
It is. It is. I apologize for my tardiness. It was one of those things where it's like I felt like I was missing something, but didn't quite know.
Oh, it's all good.
And
We've been going. And I'm recording it too. So anything. If you want to rewatch it, you totally can.
okay, cool.
Feel free to just chill, Samantha, because I was gonna start talking about products, and if it's morning and you're waking up, and I know you've had a long month of running program and have taken some time off for yourself, so chill, girl, chill. Cool.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the products, I've kind of gone through the bandwagon of the Purium products actually and know my faves. Yeah, I've taken that. I've been such a huge closet Purium supporter, and it just is, it's too silly for me to be in the closet about it anymore. I was afraid of the MLM sales part.
And like that's, like honestly, well, whatever. We could talk about that later because that's in its own interesting journey. But however, and yes, the products are amazing, and like that's, that's the thing that we can focus on, and that because I would share this even if there wasn't a business portion to it,
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you were talking about the products. I guess how much should I go into? If I don't want to necessarily like repeat things that you guys have already heard, but I can also just talk about stuff, if you want me to continue going.
Go over the day program if that's where you think we would gain the most benefit compared to doing the 10-day cleanse.
Yeah, so let me still touch on the core four like I was gonna kind of do there. So right, so and the 30-day compared to just like the 10-day cleanse, right? So what we're really trying to let people know is that like this, it's a lifestyle shift, right? It's not just let me do this cleanse and be done with it and then go back to how I was eating or consuming before, right? And so so the core four, so you've got the biomedic, right? So the biomedic, this, in my opinion, I think as long as Monsanto exists, everyone needs to be taking biomedic. Like everyone, like if glyphosate is in our environment, we need to be taking biomedic. So biomedic is currently, and there's a study that has been done, it is the only thing that has been proven to detox glyphosate from our system, right? Glyphosate, lead ingredient in Roundup, it's designed to kill anything that's not a GMO, and it doesn't break down, right? So it doesn't dissolve, it doesn't biodegrade, it gets in the water system, in the soil, it gets on our food, it will be lifted in the air, and even if there's an organic farm next to a conventional farm, some of the organic might get it's everywhere. They're estimating 90% of Americans have had glyphosate exposure, right? And so what glyphosate does to the system, because it's designed to kill everything, it actually kills our bacteria in our gut and it wipes it all out. The other thing it does, you have little villi, little hairs, right, that are in your intestines. Those are important and crucial for absorbing your nutrients. What glyphosate does is flattens and deforms those. So all your good bacteria is wiped out and you're not able to absorb your nutrients. No wonder everyone's experiencing all these mystery ailments and whatnot, right? So glyphosate has humic and fulvic acids. Those are the things that are going to help detox toxins in the gut. And then the humic acid, I believe, is the one that does that. The fulvic escorts it, chelates it, escorts it out of the body, right? And so you've got that. Then it's also got a probiotic strain and some prebiotics there. So as you're detoxing, you're also re-inoculating, re-inoculating your gut with that good bacteria.
Does it have to be refrigerated?
No, it doesn't need to be refrigerated. So essentially what you're doing though is you're preparing your gut. Like this is kind of like the first step of it, which you're taking, and you're preparing your gut to essentially be able to receive the nutrients that you can take in, right? So there's that. There's the Biometic. The other 3 products in the Core 4 and in the 30-day kit is essentially then like therapeutic dosages of superfoods that you're flooding your system with, right? And so you've got the super aminos. This is an amino acid blend. It is a soy-free legume blend, so all vegan, pre-digested, 99% bioavailable, right, form of protein. And they've actually done over 30 double-blind studies for this formulation, comparing it to every other form of protein that you can take in, meat, eggs, chicken, all these things, right? And comparing the efficiency, and with the 99% bioavailability of these super aminos, comparing it to the meat you might get 50%, and then it's creating uric acid, and it's putting a burden on your liver, and it's creating like all this waste and like slowing your system down, right? And so you're getting them in there. They start to get in there in 23 minutes and start building lean muscle and, you know, doing all the other processes that protein is good for, or, you know, needs. So yeah, super efficient amino acid blend. It helps tighten the skin and build muscle. I could feel I was building muscle even though I was sitting at my computer for like all of the winter. And was able to just like, dang, I have abs, like I haven't done anything.
Good deal.
So there's the aminos, and then there's the shake. So the power shake. So in the beginning, Shalise and Robin and I were kind of talking about, you know, I was asking your goals and kind of, you know, just what you were feeling about Purium. And the power shake is kind of like the basis. It's where you're going to get most of the nutrition, right? They're saying that the power shake is equal to like 12 servings of fruits and vegetables. It's got spirulina, which is nature's multivitamin, right? It's got like, you can get some protein from that. It's got some wheatgrass in it. It's got rice bran solubles. Rice bran solubles is a really good, healthy source of fat. It's also, rice bran solubles activate adiponectin in your system. Adiponectin is a hormone that tells your body to burn fat as fuel. There's a slow burning carbohydrate blend in there. It's like amaranth and quinoa and like these good kind of grains there. It's got a blend of like vegetable, it's like broccoli powder, carrot powder, like, you know, some fruits and vegetable things in there too. And then it's sweetened with, is that one the monk fruit? Yeah. That one's sweetened with monk fruit, which is really delicious. Monk fruit is like 200 times sweeter than sugar. However, it's 0 on the glycemic index, so it's not going to spike your blood sugar or anything. So that's really yummy and good and cool, and you get a bunch of nutrition from that. And then there's another shake powder that's an option to get, and that one's called Super Meal. It's a little more robust, kind of like I think it was Shalise, right? You were talking about trying to build the smoothie and put all these things in, and right, we're talking about like, okay, well, that gets expensive if you try to put the mushroom powder and the maca and these other adaptogens and da-da-da-da-da, right? This has all the things, like that master smoothie that we all like aspire to build. This has all of those things. It's got fruit, it's got vegetables, it's got sprouted grains, it's got 5 different mushrooms, it's got seaweed, it's got a bunch of adaptogens, like it's got so much good stuff in there.
But that's not part of a kit, or is that part of the 30?
You can customize it to get that as part of the kit. It doesn't come automatically, but there's you can order like either the variety pack or customizable, and you can put them in there if you would like.
What's that one called?
The Super Meal.
Super Meal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the apothecary, which is tart cherry juice. This is the thing that you can take at night and maybe 30, 60 minutes before going to bed. It is natural source of melatonin. It's super, super high antioxidants. They're saying like one of the highest antioxidant counts of any fruit on the planet. And really good for inflammation. So this was the thing when I was saying earlier, like I went on a 10-mile hike and then I didn't get sore afterwards. They've done a bunch of studies too about the apothecary and what it does to inflammation in the body, and that it not only does it like slow the recovery time, you're also just not getting as sore. And I've also noticed that I'm a very light sleeper. I have to kind of like bury myself to try to get any deep sleep at all. And when I started taking this, even though I wasn't falling asleep as early as I wanted to, the sleep that I did get was deep and restful, and I was waking up feeling like, okay, like I actually got some restorative sleep there, which hadn't been the case before. That one's going to be good for, you know, helping to kind of just detox and clear skin as well. Yeah, so that's the core 4 products. You get, like I said, 60 meals worth of those products in the 30-day kit. And then depending on your goals, you can like do a 30-day multiple times, or you can do the 30-day and then do maintenance with the core 4. I mean, this is all such good nutrition that, like, I mean, I have at least one of all of those products. I have at least one serving every day, just to make sure that I'm like, okay, I know I've gotten some protein. I know I've gotten, you know, I've gotten all that nutrients in the power shake. Like, I know that I'm at least starting here now, instead of,
Right.
let me try to get, you know, eat 3 servings of broccoli and an apple a day and all this fruit and all this, you know, like I just don't do it. I mean, it's just, you know.
So is there a recommended like flow for, I guess, how much you take of each thing per day and how often? And
So it depends on your goal. There's a few different schedules that you can do in the 30-day program. So as I was telling you guys, I had migraines, and so I had a very clear, like, I was like, I want to not have migraines anymore. So I did the accelerated program. So that's breaking the 30 days up into 10-day increments. The first 10 days, you're essentially replacing one meal where you're taking the aminos, the biometic, and having a shake, and then you just eat kind of normally the rest of the time. The second 10 days, you're actually replacing all 3 meals, and what you're doing is actually starting with the aminos, 2 hours later having the shake and the biometic, and then 2 hours later aminos, and 2 hours, right? So every 2 hours you're having something. And then the last 10 days, you're doing 2 shakes a day and 1 normal meal. Ideally, to support the program, you're going to eat clean and organic and all these things. I don't feel like you are a group that eats McDonald's. You'd be surprised. I talk to people. I'm like, so let's not do that. But yeah, to support it, right, you're going to eat green and clean and healthy. So that's the accelerated program. That's like, you really want to kind of jump in and like start making some shifts and changes. You can do that. You can also do the simplified schedule, which is just for the whole 30 days. You're replacing 2 meals every day, and then having your 3rd meal, whether it's lunch or dinner, depending on how you want to do it. Your 3rd meal is, you know, again, a good clean meal. And then there is an intermittent fasting schedule as well. I don't know that one as well because I haven't done it yet, but you get a lifestyle guide with the kit, and this shows you, like, here's meal inspiration. It lists out all the things, ideally organic and all, but like, here's the foods that they recommend you can eat. And it's all just eat real food, you know, real and seasonal and good. And then so there's like schedule of So this is the accelerated. So it outlines it all for you there. Like when I did the accelerated, I just left this open on my kitchen table so I could refer back to it. You know, and then when you're doing, so when you're doing the accelerated, that 10 days in the accelerated, you're actually doing some caloric restriction, right? Because you're replacing all 3 meals, but you can still snack. And so there's the flex foods, which is like, here's the foods you can eat there. So it's really just to kind of jumpstart. And then here's the fasting program that it outlines there. So yeah, it really just kind of depends on your goal or also your lifestyle. You know, like I tell people, make it work for your life, you know, and kind of go from there. Yeah.
I'm into it. I'm ready. I'm excited.
I wanted to add in just this one story. You guys know the tattoo on the palm of my hand, obviously. But I was doing the 40-day Purium, the parasite cleanse, which I think they changed the name of. But I was doing the 40-day parasite cleanse before I moved down to LA. And I actually moved down to LA doing the cleanse. And it actually made my life so much easier. Like you would think that being on a cleanse when you're doing something like that would be a pain in the butt, but I had so much more energy. I didn't have to worry about food. I had way more time. And the tattoo that I ended up getting, it actually came from a visit from my future self. And I attribute part of that clarity and my ability to connect with her in the way that I did to not using technology after 8 p.m. and not before 8 a.m. Because for me, the detox from technology is far more significant than anything I've ever done with food. Honestly, but then the combination with it up-leveled my sense of clarity and depth of connection with my own self and my body in ways that I mean, obviously that's super important to me. And so that was really where I was like amazed by what was coming through as I was on the products.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you.
I love that. I feel like that's going to be really helpful for me to help clear the fog. Yeah.
Samantha, was that the first time you used them? Sorry.
No, it wasn't actually. I think that might have been like the 3rd time I'd done the cleanse.
Got it. And it was was it the 30-day one or was it a different one?
It was a 40-day parasite cleanse. So it was specifically focused on gut and like very restricted on diet of what I could eat.
Yeah, and they still have, because I looked it up, they still have the parasite cleanse, which now they're just doing it as the 30-day and adding in more super cleanser, which is another product that you could get with that. And yeah, but it's a lot of the same kind of base, like most of their thing, because they have a lot of different kits and a lot of different programs, but most of the things all start with that core 4 foundation of those products that I was explaining to you guys. And then like there's things you can add on there, you know, like I'm actually looking into getting a product called Ionic Elements. It's helps with metal detoxing and getting metals out. And so, you know, I have a lot of girlfriends who are doing that and kind of following that protocol. There's an athlete kind of protocol. There's stuff for kids. There's stuff for dogs. There's a CBD line. Like there's a lot of things, but usually it's like you're doing that base core 4, and then you're kind of adding and building on that if you want to. You can also just kind of start with that core 4 and go from there and see how you feel, kind of a thing, you know.
I have to get off in a couple minutes, but do we order through? How do we do the ordering?
We can give you the. You can go to ishoppurium.com. We're gonna give you a code from Samantha, and maybe we can chat briefly after this, Samantha, see what code you want to do and get you set up there. But yeah, we'll send you all the info, and maybe we'll send it even in the WhatsApp group too. and just gives you everything you need. And then I can be available. You know, sometimes the website's a little clunky, so I can also be available if you want to. I can, like, you know,
Thank
if you
you.
have any questions with.
Yeah, I definitely expand on this with you. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm happy to chat with any of you further about any of this, and then also help you with ordering any of it too.
Yeah, I think the core for it's just bringing in the other elements you were talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to continue the conversation, but I truly do have to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. My pleasure. It was wonderful to meet you.
Yeah, thank you, Jess, so much for leading this and supporting this movement, because I feel like it's a full-time job in and of itself, and my cup has runneth over. And at the same time, like, I don't want to sound like I'm selling them, which is what I have resistance to them, but I believe so much in these products, so much so that it's like the one thing that I've made sure people can send me from the US because I can't get them shipped to Bali. It's like, I notice them when I'm not taking them, and I notice that there aren't other things that I've been able to find that actually, like, help support my own nutrition in the same way. So we wouldn't be having this call if I didn't feel that way about them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and it's, you know, I feel like it's, if you saw a good movie or ate at a great restaurant, you know, you're probably going to share that anyway. You know what I mean? It's sort of similar, where it's like, I have this experience, I want to share it with you, and, like, let's, you know, also, until, and especially in America, until shit changes with our food systems, I'm gonna just keep drinking more Purium and eating more Purium, because, like, there's no comparison of, like, the quality and purity of it, you know, like, it's the real deal.
There really isn't, in comparison to anything else I've found, and I have other friends that are part of it and supplements and stuff, but they all have a component of, like, chemical makeup.
Mm-hmm.
That there's something that has been created that isn't as natural, and I just find that I don't like that frequency for me.
Yeah, the way they go about everything just sounds kind of surreal in this time and world at the moment. Quite honestly, it's cool that it's just really cool to know there's something out there that puts this much thought and intention into every step of the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, ladies.
We'll let you go. But yeah, let me know. You can access me on WhatsApp, and let's continue talking, and I can answer any questions you have. But yeah, wonderful to meet you, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, babes.